Kijuan, I am so grateful to meet you today, to be here with you. I wanted to thank you for taking the time to come on the podcast. I wanted to personally thank you for your service to the country. I grew up my dad was in the Marine Reserves, and I just have so much respect for our military and for all our men and women that give back. So thank you very, very much for that. I do want to talk about your book that I'm holding up right here. Don't Focus on Why Me. I bought it. It's available on Amazon. There's a link in the show notes that I'm going to create to this. Before we dive into your book, can you tell us what you did in the Air Force?
If you want to say that 1% of the country might be in the military, then 1% of the country or 1% of the military is doing the job. So it's very, very small.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called in-flight refueling. So I was an in-flight refueling specialist. And that means I refueled airplanes in midair. So it's basically like pulling up to a flying gas station. Now, no commercial airliner does this. Just to let everybody know so that we don't have any crazy people like, what? The planes do that in there? That happened in my flight.
No.
Yeah, you're not going to. Okay. So,
Nope.
Yeah, that is or was my job. And gosh, when you say unusual, unrealistic, out of this world, like you can put whatever title you want to it because all of it is true. I honestly, when I remember the recruiter showing me the video of it.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, that's a job? That looked like something you play on a video game.
Well, I saw the photos on your Instagram and then some videos, and I'm like, okay, whoa.
Yeah. I'm like, that looks like something you play on a video game. As I'm controlling the piece that you saw behind me, which we call the boom, that's going into the other aircraft. I'm controlling it with my right hand. I'm also controlling with my left hand by extending it to make sure that it makes contact with the other aircraft. And then when I go to disconnect and separate us, I retract it. So it's and listen, when they say the magic happens in the skies, it really happens.
Oh, unbelievable. Yeah. Now, and I'm going to probably, my podcast style, I'm in my second season. This is my 36th episode, and I am learning as I go. So I kind of jump around and kind of go with the flow. And before we get into because I'm going to ask you a ton of details here, I do want to talk about real, like, the book that you wrote, Don't Focus on Why Me.
Uh-huh.
There's obviously a big reason and something happened in your life that I want to talk about, and really just talk about your book and talk about how this experience has really, this adversity has really reshaped your life. And I just really want to get into that piece of it. I know there's so many aspects to your story, but I think kind of jumping right into that pivotal moment that kind of changed your life. And then we can go all over if that's okay with you.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. So tell me about what led up to you writing this book.
First and foremost, so if you see that front cover, you can hold it up to the camera.
Yep.
So I can see it.
Doing that
On
now.
that front cover, you see a motorcycle and you see backdrop of a lake. Okay, so the motorcycle is my motorcycle. That was my actual motorcycle.
This is your actual one.
The actual one that I rode, that I had the accident. And that backdrop of the lake was the lake that I was leaving from the day of the accident.
Mm-hmm.
Cool fact about those pictures, I took both of them.
Wow.
Because I used to be a photographer. So I took a picture of my motorcycle. It wasn't taken at the lake. It was taken somewhere else. The cover designer took the motorcycle out and stitched it into that photo.
Yeah.
So they did what I asked them to do.
Yeah. No, it's a great cover. I like
Yeah,
it
which
a
is
lot.
what
And I like the
that's how
title.
you get that amazing look on the cover. And that lake is called Jordan Lake here in North Carolina. So if you ever get a chance, it's a pretty cool lake. I used it mostly for the quietness around. And
Yeah.
go sit on that same dock you see there in the picture. So, anywho, that's the two pieces of this story.
Yeah.
I went there after actually taking pictures. It was not one of those pictures, but it was taking pictures of a church because I was the web designer and webmaster of the church, and they needed some updated photos.
Yes.
The photos on their website were out of date.
Yeah.
And so I said, let me go, take some brand new photos, and then when I'm going to work this weekend, which was May 5th, 2017, that was a Friday, and that was also the date of my accident. And so I had to go to work that weekend for the Air Force, and I said, well, while I'm on, down there working, I'll be also editing my photos and updating them and uploading them to the website.
Yep.
So I went to go take those pictures, and I was like, well. So the ride from my apartment to the church that I was taking a picture, maybe 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay.
So I said, that's a waste of a ride if I'm just going to ride 10 minutes, pull the bike out for that little bit of time. Let me take it a little further. So I took it to the lake because I had some time to kill. And beautiful ride. I mean, amazing ride. I made it to the lake. I did make it. I made it to that same dock that you guys are looking at on that cover.
Yeah.
I got to chill. I got to hang out there, and the car goes flying by. Oh, shit. I look at my wristwatch to see what time. I got to get going.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go work. So I'm now leaving and heading back to the house. And as I'm leaving, or actually on the road, because my helmet had a Bluetooth headset too. And I'm listening to music. At that time, in 2017, Bruno Mars' 24 Karat Magic was really good.
Yes.
Those CDs that everybody
Yeah.
to. So I was bumping that CD as I was riding. Trees going by, really, it's like a back road in a sense.
Yeah.
And I'm running about 55 minutes because this is the speed on this particular road.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in North Carolina, where you have all these trees lining the side of the streets, whenever you come to an intersection, they cut it back so you can see what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to have somebody coming barreling down at 65 miles an hour and you just decide to pull out in front of them.
Right.
Well, that's actually what happened. Somebody will pull out in front of me, which was a silver Honda Accord from the police report. I know nothing of it. All I remember is what people tell me from the police report. It was a silver Honda Accord. He pulls out in front of me from the intersection. There were two cars behind him that also had basically witness statements that said they saw me coming. They don't know why he did.
Mm.
And yes, it was a male driving. So I had to be life flighted to UNC Hospital in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. And that's where I would spend my next 2 months.
2 months, yeah.
But the first month that I was there, I had no clue I was there because I was in a medically induced coma.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember from your book you mentioned when you woke up. Yeah, could go on.
Woke up on June the 6th. So a month and a day later, I wake up in the hospital due to the medically induced coma because the countless surgeries they had, literally from head all the way down to my right feet. Literally. In the book, I talk about the surgeries that I had or implants that I had done.
Yeah.
So I can go over them as well.
Yeah.
So I had
Please.
Yeah, I had 2 metal plates medically inserted into my head. My jaw was broken, so my mouth was wired shut when I first woke up.
Yes.
I had chipped and cracked and broken loose teeth on the right side of my face, which was probably the cheapest part of my
Mm.
medical bill, and that was $2,000. I said that was the cheapest.
Wow.
And then the bottom portion of my right eye was torn off. I'm not sure how that happened, but it was in my right eye was knocked out. Keep it in it. And they had to get skin grafting from my left clavicle to surgical repair. Then, of course, with my head being, smashed, I suffered from a severe traumatic brain injury and PTSD. My PTSD has subsided a little bit because I do go to mental therapy.
Good.
Till this day. It's almost been 8 years. I still go to mental therapy because you highly recommend it.
Yeah.
And moving down from my head to my now spinal cord, it was broken and had to be surgically repaired with a metal infusion with 2 rods and 12 screws from L4 to T2. For those who understand what that is. Then moving on to my 2 broken legs, I broke the largest bone in your body, which is your femur. And I broke my right femur, which is a metal rod there. On my left leg, I broke my tibia, and that's like your shin bone, basically. And so, from knee all the way to ankle is a bone. I mean, a metal insert. And then I fractured my right tibia. And then in my right foot is a screw. So literally from head all the way down to my right.
Wow. So do you have that physical pain? Do you have pain that you're dealing with? Like, and then I know that there's more.
Well, I have pain every day. So, but see, the thing about it is that I'm okay with it. And you know why? I tell some people ask me this and some people don't, but I tell them that the reason why I'm okay with having pain because first off, it reminds you you're still alive. And secondly, there's some people who can't feel. I could be paralyzed to where I can't feel, but I'm not. I feel everything, and I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
Because we have to take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
And the bad side, I just told you guys all the different things that I had to go through, the surgeries, the broken bones, surgical implants. That's the bad side of it. But the good side of it is I can still feel what's going on to me. And so I go to the gym, like some people are like, wait, you go to the gym how often? Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. Catch me there.
Yeah. I love it. I saw in your videos. You're like, no excuses. I'm getting my reps in with my weights.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's badass.
And, the last video I put on Instagram, I believe Instagram and Facebook, the song that I used, because I like to use songs that are inspirational.
Yes.
That kind of, show you what I'm thinking during that time.
Sure.
So the last song I used was Nothing Can Stop. I'm all the way.
Oh, yeah.
So nothing can stop me. I'm going. I'm still going. I don't care if you get in my way. You better be prepared to take me down.
Yeah, it's that resilience, right? I mean, it's really well. And I just want to read the chapter, sort of the entry titles, because your book, I love it. It really, you begin each chapter with "Dear Readers," and it's really a total front row into like your experience.
Yeah.
So thank you for like taking the time to write about it, and like thank you for your resilience and sharing that with all of us. And I just want to kind of read the titles of the contents. You've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3. You've got a bunch of different chapters. One about the accident, waking up, the recovery, get me out of here, the support, and then I'm just skipping around here. Like the depression sets in, and then the turning resiliency at its finest. You talk about hurt, heal, let it go. Life goes on. I mean, we could talk for hours about what this book means, but if you could just kind of take me through, life before the accident and life after, right? This was a huge turning point in your life.
Yeah.
But something you said is that the gratitude piece, right? It seems like that is a, despite this accident, you are grateful, you choose to see what you still do have, right? So take me through, for people out there that are going through adversity, when you woke up in the hospital and you were working through that dark time, can you take me through some of that dark time and how you kind of, the moment you decided, hey, and I know they can read more in your book, which I'm holding up right now, how do you find that strength? I know that.
One of the chapters you mentioned actually talks about that. It is called "Get Me Out of Here."
Get me out of here. Mm-hmm.
So the reason it says that is because not once, not twice, but I think 3 times they came in there and told me 3 different discharge dates for me to get out of the hospital. And I was just like, okay, what is the story? It's already a nightmare because I woke up without eyesight. I woke up not being able to talk. I couldn't smell anything. I couldn't move, couldn't walk. What is this nightmare going to be? And you guys keep telling me, well, it seems like the doctor is going to keep you a little bit longer, so he's changing your discharge. Wait, what? Well, okay, first time, okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second time, I'm like, hey, Mom, we're leaving. Yes, we're getting ready to get out of here. She's like, I don't know, it just seems like it's taking long. It seems like it's flying down. Like, I feel like they should have been done came in here and started getting stuff ready for you and stuff. Like, I don't think like that, you know?
Yeah.
And sure enough, hours start ticking. And the nurse comes in. Hey, it looks like the doctor's going to keep you a little bit.
You're just like,
How much longer is he going to keep me? Well, it sounds like a week. A week? What does he need to see in a week?
yeah.
That he didn't, that just miraculously pops up.
Yeah.
You know, and I was just so fed up because I was already going through with even being there first and foremost, but now you keep toying with my emotions because I'm excited to go home.
Yeah.
But you keep telling me to stay. It's basically what you're doing. And I'm already in here with a collar, so a neck brace that I do not like because it felt like it was choking me. If I don't know if anybody out there has ever had one of those things on, they are the most uncomfortable thing when you're laying down. It literally felt like it was choking me, like somebody was doing this.
And you had that and your jaw.
Well, that, and I had a trach. I had a trach at one point, so once they removed it, it was like really tender in that area.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I get why they had the brace on me because I had, some serious whiplash from the accident. But is there any way you could get like a custom brace or something?
Yeah, you're like, please.
I know, one brace doesn't fit all. I know that much. So y'all need to figure something out. Because this thing is choking me. And I made mention of it because I kept trying to yank it off. But the Velcro on that thing feels like it's as long as the street outside. So it's like, it's like you're whipping forever. And so they hear it and they come running.
Oh, you're like, no.
Yeah, like,
you can't be quiet.
No, not even a little bit. So I'm sitting there trying to inch it off, like with my fingers, like rolling it like this.
Oh, you're trying to be all sly.
It's not helping. And I think the one time that I did get it off, it was like in the middle of the night, like we morning, and nobody was in my room. And I pull it as fast as I can because I'm pretty weak at this point. I haven't been in the bed for so long. So I try to rip it as fast as I can. And then I'm like pulling it off, and somebody comes in my room. And then they were like, no. And I said, and chucked it into the wall.
You're like, yes, actually.
I said, yes. And then, Mr. Amy, we have to put this back on you. I said, no, that thing is choking me. And they're like, we understand, but sir, your neck, you've had severe whiplash. You really need this. And I said, you're not putting it back on.
Put your hands. Oh my gosh.
I was like, there's no way you're getting it back on me.
They're like, wow.
Yeah, so there was some, I can laugh at it now, but at the time I was ticked.
That's what I was just noticing. Like the fact that it's not a laughing matter in the moment,
Yeah.
obviously. Like you're suffering immensely.
No way. Like physical therapy. There were times during my physical therapy when they would come in my room. She would be like, "Let me do this. I gotta do this, do that," and I'm like, "Listen, you're not doing anything." I said, I don't feel like it. Like today is not a good day. And she's like, "But I have to. Otherwise, if I leave, I'm not gonna see you again until so and so." I'm like, I don't care. Like I would get upset, like really upset. I don't care. You know, things like that. And what I will say is, since those days, I have been back to apologize. I think it was that next year. I think it was 2017. I think it might have been either late 2017 or early 2018. I went back when I was walking by myself, capable of walking by myself, because those guys had never seen me walk by myself. I was either doing parallel bars, or actually that was the only thing I did at the hospital, parallel bars, because I was still in my wheelchair then. And so when I came back and I was walking by myself and got to that, I think the seventh floor is what they had for physical therapy. When I got back to that floor and I got off that elevator and turned towards that desk, and that lady, she was looking at me. My mom said, "Why is she looking at me?" I said, "What? Why is she looking at me?" She's looking at you kind of weird. And I was like, so she said, uh, "You look familiar. What? I said, "Last year." She was like, "You were the guy in the motorcycle accident." I said, "Yeah." And she was like, "Oh my gosh, you look amazing." I said, "Well, thank you." And and she was like, "What are you doing here?" I said, I'm looking for this person, and I named everybody, like from name that called them by name." And she was like, "Well, this person is not here right now. He'll probably be in later, but I can get everybody else." I said, "All right, I'll stand here and wait." And so I'm just standing there waiting on them to come. And then I hear a guy, I think it was a guy first, who was coming from my right. And he was like, "Oh my goodness." And it was one of those moments you could hear him smiling. He's like, "Oh my goodness." And I happened to turn that way. I said, "Mom, who's that?" And she was like, "Oh, that's your occupational therapist." And I said, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" He's like, "Man, now this is a retirement gig." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I'm getting ready to leave next week." I said, "Whoa, now this is perfect timing." And he's like, "Absolutely perfect timing." And so then, I think she was a nurse, might have came up. But for sure, that the girl I was just telling you about, the physical therapist, she was there. And the one that I used to give her a hard time. And so she came from the left side, and I didn't hear her really creep up on me. She kind of caught me out guard. But my mom was like, "Oh, guess who's here?" And I said, "Who?" And then she told me, I said, "Oh, hey." And she was like, "I'm crying right now." And I was like, "Wait, why are you crying? I didn't do nothing today." And we both laughed. But she was like, "It's so amazing to see you." And I was like, "Well, now," and I was hugging her. I said, "Well, now that you see me, I have something I want to say." She's like, "What's that?" I said, "I want to apologize for everything that I did." And she was like, "Oh, you didn't have to do it." And I made her cry even more. And I wasn't there to make people cry. I was just trying to come back and say, "I'm sorry." And they were like, "I'll be honest, I don't think anybody's ever done this." And I was like, I had to come, clear the air, because I didn't want y'all to think that I was this mean guy. I was just going through a rough patch. And they're like, "That's the thing. We know everybody's going through that rough patch. That's usually why they don't come back." And so I did do that. If you're still there, I think you're on mute.
Okay, there we go. Are we good now?
Yes.
Okay, good. um, yeah, the doctors and the nurses that are part of your journey, right? I mean, it, talk just the it must have been an amazing moment to come back to a place that you had struggled to get out of, and then to come back, having worked so hard, right? And I know you still struggle. Obviously, there's still struggles daily,
Oh yeah.
but you, the resilience to say, like, no, this is not where the story ends. Like, that takes a lot. Can you talk about where, and I know you have a chapter on family, and you mentioned your mom. Let's talk a little bit about your mom. And again, I've seen her in pictures and videos, and she seems like an amazing, fantastic woman. And just a little bit about the support that has helped you get through this.
Yeah, it seems like my mom is trying to become the TikTok dancing queen or something. I don't.
She's amazing.
I,
I'm a fan.
I guess you found her.
I found her. And I'm like, yes, you guys are both getting down,
Yeah, yeah. So she's trying to be the TikTok dancing queen, and I mean, she doesn't realize it, but when people start finding me, they're gonna start finding her too.
That's exactly what happened, and I want more.
Exactly. Anywho, yeah, no, family was huge. They were uh, a pillar when it
Yeah.
came to my recovery. First off, just the whole beginning, like the beginning, literally.
Yeah.
When they found out I was in the hospital, because nobody did until they got a hold of them, like late that night. That
I
was
remember in
me.
your book, you talked about that.
Yeah, the military called him. And so how that day kind of transpired, because it is very serious. Um, Me and my mom lived in the same neighborhood.
Mhm.
Me and my mom, and then so back then, my stepdad and my youngest brother, who is now in Air Force, they all lived in the same neighborhood. We just on different sides.
Hmm.
And so she and my stepdad had come through were on the side that I lived on to see, if I would like to come over for dinner that night.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that would have been cool. That would have been great. Because I don't need good.
Well, you were
But,
25, right?
yeah, I was 25.
25, yeah.
And I now don't get me wrong, I could cook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, mom's cooking.
But yeah, who doesn't want mom's cooking? So
Exactly.
he saw my car, but realized this: my motorcycle was in a garage, so she would have never known if that was missing.
Mm.
So she's thinking I'm home
Yeah.
because she hasn't heard that I'm going out of town or nothing like that. I guess she didn't. And she didn't know that I had to work that week. So she was just trying to reach out to invite me over for dinner. She didn't know if I was going to be available. She was just inviting.
Hmm.
And so, because she was making one of my favorites.
What's your favorite?
Huh?
What's your favorite?
Well, any dish with baked macaroni and cheese.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah.
any meal with the baked macaroni and cheese.
There
So,
you go.
it's got to
That's what
have
you need.
4 cheeses in it.
Yes.
Yes. So, but anywho, she was calling me, to get me to come over for that, and I wasn't answering the phone. She's like, "Well, what about you?" And my stepdad's like, "I don't know. Maybe he's out with his friend. Who knows?"
Mhm.
And so she calls again later on. He's like, "Why is he not answering?" My stepdad again. He is like one of the most nonchalant. I just don't know people.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't know, I don't know.
Yeah. No one knows.
And so he's like, "I don't know, Veronica." He's like, maybe he's doing something. He might be busy right now. I'm sure he'll call you back. Just trying to ease your mind, type stuff. And sure enough, they didn't call again. They go to Walmart later on that night, which is about 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock at night, they're in Walmart. And she's doing grocery shop. And that phone call comes in. I don't want any mother, father, sister, brother, it doesn't matter who it is. I don't want anybody to receive this.
Mm.
And it went a little something like this. Hello? Hello, is this Kijuan Amey's mother? Well, this is so-and-so from Kijuan Johnson Air Force Base. I'm the squad. And I was just calling to let you know that he is at UNC Hospital in critical condition. You might want to get over there. He's in ICU. Who would want to see that, hear that phone call?
Mm-mm.
Nobody.
Mm-mm.
Especially not a mother who's been trying to get a hold of him all that.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like she had that mother's intuition.
I just knew something's not right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how that whole thing started. And then from Walmart to running out of Walmart to jumping in the car and speeding off to UNC Hospital, where now she has to call my grandmother and say, "Can you go to my house and watch?" Because at the time, my nephew, as well as my brother, they had just, like snuck out to Walmart so they'd be back. My brother, I can't remember how old he was at the time, but he was old enough, to sit at home by himself.
Right.
And so they, she called my grandma, was like, "Hey, can you go run by the house? We got to go." She told him everything about me. We got to go to the hospital. She's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll go." And then they get to the hospital and they're trying to call some kind of chaplain, priest, or whatever he was for the hospital to pray for me.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom was like, "What?" And so she calls my grandma. She's like, "Oh no, we got a pastor for that."
Yeah.
And so they call my pastor.
Uh-huh.
So I'm in Chapel Hill. Pastor lives in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
For those who know North Carolina, it's not particularly close, but it is.
Okay.
And again, this is like late at night. Okay, late at night.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you push into the early morning.
Yeah.
At this point, and he answers the phone, and my grandma tells him what's going on. He said, "We."
Yeah.
And we, it's him and his wife. They got out of their comfy bed, their comfy home, and they came.
Amazing.
We're on the way. And, it was just one of those things where everybody was coming together.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, my uncle, he's also a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
His church, and two other churches, I can't remember the one of them, but I do know one is Shabbat. His church is the Public Salvation. But three churches had a 24-hour prayer wall going on.
Wow.
That entire time I was in a coma.
So you were getting, I just got chills.
Yeah.
You were getting prayers.
Prayers for 24 hours.
Yeah. But see, and it's like you must have emerged from that experience being like, wow, I have so many people that care about me.
Yeah.
Obviously, like incredible, right?
Oh yeah, no, seriously, no, that was a moment that I will again be forever grateful for, because that's the thing about my accident. I was grateful for not just the family but friends, co-workers, because my squadron that I was a part of in the military, gosh, well they were pivotal too, because they so my apartment, I had an apartment on the third floor. I did that for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to, if you want to stop by to see me, you're gonna want to stop by to see me. It's not just
exactly
a visit,
exactly,
because you're gonna have to climb those 2 flights of stairs.
Yeah.
And two, it was a theft deterrent. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Because I was going so often, and so anywho, they my lease was coming due. Thank God, I didn't just renew it, because I was about to actually. Because it was coming due. And they came to my apartment with my mom, grandma, stepfather, I think maybe a few other family members, but were going to clean it out, get everything out.
Wow.
Move it to the storage. Well, they came. It was like 15 of them.
Wow.
With U-Hauls, with pickup trucks that had trailers attached to it. Like they were ready to go. Knock on the door. Hey, how can we help? What are you guys doing here? We told you we were gonna come.
You
We
know
didn't know y'all
what?
were bringing a daisy chain.
That is so, again, chills. Like the
Yeah.
definition of a team, right? Like, well, you said in the Air Force it's a squadron, right?
Yes. Yes.
Um, now
Absolutely. It
that
took
is amazing.
so so again, apartment, third floor, right? It took them all of 30 minutes to clean my apartment out completely.
Wow. Just the team, right?
And
Many hands make
everything
light
was
work.
loaded up completely. 30 minutes.
And like, how cool for like your family to see that.
Oh yeah, no, I had to tell them how that works.
Yeah, you're like, so there's 15 men here, or men and women here.
But the thing is, it's not just teamwork. It's like, so my job being an air field specialist, also you're trained on cargo load.
Oh,
So we know how to move things.
oh my, you literally elite forces coming in and sitting on
Exactly.
your apartment.
Exactly. Exactly. We know how to move. Okay.
Oh my
And
goodness.
we know how to appoint people to do certain things. So it's all, I mean, when I tell you everything fell in the right positions, the puzzle pieces were right there. It was
Yeah.
like glued when it got in there.
Well,
So it was amazing.
amazing. So you've got your mom, you've got your brother, and your pastors came. And I'll just be really honest too. Like in the last year, I've really gotten deeper with my faith and like
Mm.
connection to God.
Yeah.
And so if you don't mind just talking a little bit about how that helped you get through, if that was something you leaned on or you
Oh,
lean on
absolutely.
today.
Absolutely. My faith, I've been literally in church since I could stand up.
Uh-huh.
Literally, since I could stand up, and I mean as a little kid, not the second time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, you learned to walk twice. That's
Yeah,
what a badass you are.
exactly, exactly. I learned to walk. And the second time is more of a faith walk.
Exactly.
So I have been in church literally all my life, and grateful for it because it gave me foundation.
Yep.
It also gave me, a reason to live, and not just feel like, well, there's nothing left for me. Um, here behind me is
Yes,
my drum set,
I
and
see.
it's not piano, but the drum set is main. I point that out because I've been playing drums since I was 7.
You mentioned that as well. Big
Yes,
part of your life.
and I still play it till today.
That's
I actually
great.
just played them today.
That's fantastic. So that remains despite your challenges. You're like, no, I know how to play the drums. I'm going to adjust.
Yeah. So the church, the pastor that I told you about coming to the hospital, I still go to that church. That's the only church I've ever been a part of, and I play for them. I'm
Oh,
also the drummer there.
that's
So
amazing.
every Sunday that I'm home, that's where I'm at.
Oh, that's fantastic. So many cool connections growing up there and your pastors kind of seeing literally, practicing when you say the word practice what you preach. I mean, not to like do a pun or anything, but it sounds like your preachers to show up for you like that. Like that's just, that mean that I don't even know them. And that means a lot hearing that pastors did that for you.
Yeah. And it's not for me. It's not like one of those. I'm not trying to shun, mega churches or anything like that. But I prefer a small church like that where
Hmm.
people know you. Like he knows me. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I've been in that same church since I was a little kid. So
Yeah,
he literally knows me.
literally.
like,
He's like,
he knows my mom, he knows my dad,
he's like,
he
I
knows
changed your diapers.
he knows my whole family.
Yeah.
So, and before he took over as pastor, my great uncle was there. So
Oh,
it was literally like
how cool.
the great uncle that I never met, you became.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it was like you are now a part of my family.
Mm,
And that's what we call each other. Like his son, I call him my brother.
yeah.
Now his daughters, they call me their nephew.
You're
So,
like, wait,
so
what?
it's a little different, but
Yeah, no, it's good.
but yeah, and he called me Sunday. He said, "Hey, son." I'm like, "I'm doing good," you know.
Yeah.
And so it's just one of those things. It's definitely a connection, a bond that I do appreciate. It's an open door policy at the church, so we can walk in and talk to them anytime.
Yeah.
It's not like, unless of course somebody else is doing counseling or something. So there is that part, but they usually close the door for them. But if the door is open, you're welcome to come in.
Yeah.
So I love that aspect of my church and the faith part behind it. Listen, if I need him, I can call him right now. It's not like he only answers the phone at this time. He's only available for these types of things. Call a missionary for something else or a deacon for this. No. He will answer that phone. If he is available, he is coming. And if he's not, he's like, can I send someone else? It's a question. It's not a I will. It's can I? And that's what I appreciate most about it. He does, have his own things to do. He loves family. His family is growing tremendously.
Sure.
So he does love family. So that's another thing. But but faith actually and family play a part in building. So if you don't have faith, I mean, it really won't, or it really won't play a huge part in family, because I think that they go hand in hand. Because it helps. From what I read in the Bible, it says, make sure you guys have the faith. And that's not. I don't take that for any relation, like a girlfriend boyfriend type relationship. One or man and wife, or husband and wife. I take that for any relationship.
Yeah, totally.
Because as soon as you're unequal, you'll tell.
Yep.
You'll be able to tell for sure.
You
will be that feuds all the time. You'll be arguing every day. Everything about them is just not cool. It's just a bunch of things that's just gonna be sticking out. Like, hey, it's a red flag here.
Yes.
So that's how I approach it.
Yeah. Well, and, with faith, for me, like, obviously this podcast is about adversity and going through, there's so many different kinds of adversity. And there's just this, I feel like when I've been at my darkest points, when you literally you don't know how certain situations are going to work out, or you just feel so low, there's this presence of, like, when you tap into talking to God, this higher power, that you feel that you're not alone, because it can, and I know that after reading your book, like, there are moments that have brought you to your knees and have really, what you went through. I know you don't need to hear this from me, but it's miraculous how you have come back and fought through this, and then to be brave to share your story with the world and then write a book, which is such a huge accomplishment. Congratulations on that, if I didn't say it already.
Thank you.
But I think it's like a combination, and tell me if you agree, of the faith and then really tapping into that inner strength that you have. Right?
Oh, yeah. No, I actually mentioned that in my book.
Yeah.
Faith definitely helped me. It was what kept me grounded. It was actually how I got the title of the book.
Yes. Don't focus on why me.
Yeah. So and the reason I say this is because generally when everybody, somebody has some kind of adversity, some kind of hardship, whatever it might be, the first thing we say is,
yes.
Well, yours truly was laying in that hospital bed, and sure enough, why me came to mind. But then I noticed that I was in that room by myself. Well, at least I thought I was. And I said, why is this happening to me? And then a still voice said, well, why not you? And I said, what?
I just got chills again. Like, you.
Yeah. Like, hold on now. I'm in this room by myself. Who else in here?
You're like, that's like that moment.
Yes. And so that is where, instead of writing why not me as the title, it was the don't focus on the why me portion of it, because he started to reveal all the things of why I could. When I started to see why I could, and was able to be successful in the reality of it, I was like, man, I need to stop flexing on that why me part. Let's go figure out how I can do this.
Mm.
Because I'm not the only blind person in the world.
Mm-hmm.
People have figured things out or they have invented stuff.
Mm.
Like I just talked to a young man yesterday about how he invented a blind cane that lights up like a lightsaber. And it can be seen from 100 yards away.
Oh.
But do you know why? It was to fix a problem. He has been hit 3 times by cars.
Oh.
Twice in New York and once in San Diego. And I was like, man, I think, you see, he took the right route. He took the right route of inventing something. I would have said, I'm not walking out here no more.
No. He's like, you know what? I'm going to have a lightsaber, damn it, and it's going to be cool, and it's going to fix this.
He's going to be in the next Star Wars.
Exactly. No, well, I mean, it's literally, again, from what you just said, what are you choosing to focus on?
Yeah.
Don't you, and the reality is that, but I want to commend you for your ability to make that decision to then have this ripple effect on the world that now we're sitting here together and now your message is going to go out to everybody listening to this podcast who might be suffering right now.
Yeah.
You know, and that's powerful. You know?
And I heard you earlier when you said, you know, I probably don't need to hear that you commended me on what I was doing. But it's funny you say that because I think it was yesterday. I was just on a podcast and I told someone that that's actually what keeps me going.
Mm.
Because sometimes we get so caught up in what we're doing that we don't see the impact we have.
Yes.
And we have to be reminded. There's nothing wrong with a reminder.
Yeah.
Absolutely
You're right.
nothing wrong with it.
You're right.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I'm not boastful about it.
Very.
And I'm thankful and grateful that people are seeing it. And it is helping.
Yes.
Because that's what it's all about. That book, everybody always asks me, well, man, how many copies have you sold? It's not about it.
Absolutely.
It's about, did I reach somebody? Did I connect with somebody? Did it help somebody?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what my book is all. That's the only reason I wanted to write that book. I wanted to tell my side of the story.
Yes.
Because I've been hearing everybody else's. And I'm like, okay. I hear what all of y'all are saying around me. It's time for me to say what I feel.
You're like, I was there. It was me.
Yeah. And it's time for me to be vulnerable, which is what the military does not teach you. They don't teach you how to be vulnerable. They teach you how to be resilient. They teach you how to, man up. We got things to do. Let's go. There's no time for pity. We gotta go.
Yes.
And so if you're feeling pitiful for yourself, it's like you sing Forrest Gump.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. Yes.
So you remember Lieutenant Dan when he was laying on the ground and Forrest was going to get him out of there?
Yes.
What was Lieutenant Dan doing? He was sitting in his pity trying to call a strike.
Yep.
Because he had gotten shot. He was like, there's no reason he should have got killed or got hit, basically. And Forrest was like, I'm going to get you safe, Lieutenant Dan.
Yes.
He's like, leave me here, go, leave me alone. He's slapping him and everything. He's like, no, Lieutenant Dan, I got to get you out of here.
You're never vulnerable, right?
Yes, exactly. And guess what? They win.
Uh-huh.
They survive. You can wallow in your pity. And that moment, that's basically what that moment taught me. You can wallow in your pity and die right there. Or you can get up, keep fighting, and keep going forward.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what Forrest was trying to say. You do not have to die right here.
Mm-hmm.
We can keep fighting. We can go on to another place. Let them fix you.
Yeah. It's like it's a stop along the way, right?
Yeah. So that's always my favorite part of that movie. Come jumped up and bit me in the butt.
Yes.
That's always my favorite part.
It's so funny that you say that because my husband, since we started dating like years ago, whenever he walks in with ice cream, he'll be like, Lieutenant Dan, ice cream.
Let's take that. I got ice cream.
Yes. And every time I'm like, God, that never gets old.
Ice cream. Let's take that.
Yes, ice cream.
By the way, huge shout out. I can't remember his actual name, but Lieutenant Dan. Can't remember his real name.
Oh, Gary Sinise?
Yes.
Yes.
Huge shout out to him because when I was at the Blind Rehab Center in 2018, he paid for our meals. He loves veterans.
Oh, he is. I've seen him on commercials with some veteran stuff, but so he really walks the walk.
Oh, yes. Yes. I was in Tucson, Arizona. And we went to, well, first off, we were supposed to have regular lunch. Well, they ended up renting us a bus, and they took us all to Golden Corral because he paid for all of it.
That is so cool.
Paid for everybody. And the thing was, it's not like a small, like maybe 10 people. No, we talking about a whole, like, I guess you say class full of people.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to exactly word it because it's not like a classroom setting,
Sure.
but you get what I'm saying. It's over. It had to be over like 40 people.
I love it. I love it. It's those acts of kindness, right? And those acts of.
Yes, I really appreciate him for that. And I haven't,
Well,
the real opportunity of meeting him. But if this gets out to him, maybe one day.
Hey, you know what? I will say, like, we are, and I mentioned it in my last one because I'm very excited about it. The podcast, this will be my 36th episode. So thank you again. And we do have traffic from 29 countries.
Oh, wow.
So, and again, I was telling my friend was like, that's so exciting. I'm like, now the volume, I'm still learning analytics and I don't know how high it is, but I can tell you the message is getting out. And it's like everybody, I feel like for me, when I was going through a hard time, hearing podcasts of people I don't know who are just being authentic about how hard like being a human can be, and then going through these hard experiences and then sharing how they get through them, like your book, this episode, the other podcasts you go on, every time you post on Instagram, it's inspiring somebody else out there. And you're right. I think it's funny. I think, oh, you don't need to hear this because you probably already know, because it's just so obvious to me how amazing you are. But like, we never understand that about ourselves, right?
Right. Yeah, and that's like the key. Like you just you're doing something. At the end of the day, you're like, what really am I doing? Until you hear somebody that says something. And I remember two things. One was an Instagram direct message. I didn't know the person.
Yeah.
No contact. No, we're not connected. We weren't following each other. She just randomly DM'd me. And it was about my book. And she said, I really, truly appreciate you for writing this book because it helped my brother. He really didn't want to be here anymore. And he had been in a motorcycle accident. Same thing happened. He lost his eyesight. Literally, he lost his eyesight. And she was like, he did not want to be here anymore until I was reading your book to him. And he said, he reached out to you, but you never responded. I said, what? I don't do that. Let me see what she told.
Let me check.
And so I went back, like, oh, I did miss it. And I was like, oh. And so I heard
that happens, though.
And yeah, I wrote him a long, like, message, empathetic, like, sorry, listen, dude, I am so sorry. Wherever you live, if you want, we can meet and have ice cream. We'll get it done.
No, please.
Stuff like that. But he was so, like, appreciative of the story, like just the vulnerability of how dark it can be. Like he was like, that part is what resonated.
Because that is just, and please tell me like how much you're comfortable sharing, but like, it's hard. He truly understands what it's like for you.
Yeah. Well, he was definitely at his wit's end. And he did not want to be here. Like his sister made it crystal clear. He was ready to go.
He was like, "Get me out of I'm not doing life anymore."
Well, the thing was, he didn't want to. He would stay at home. He didn't want to do that. Yeah, like stuff like that. When you get to the point where you don't want to get out of bed, because I was there. I'm
You've
speaking
been
from
there.
experience. That's a bad sign.
Yes.
So it's not that they're being lazy. They have no like passion to do anything. If
Right.
people don't, I didn't even want to use the bathroom.
You just
It
have
was
nothing
that.
left. Yeah.
For me, it was that bad
Oh,
because I did
sorry.
have suicidal thoughts. And so when he, made that comment or she made it about him, and I was just like, God, I truly understand. I'm going to reach out to him. If he ever needs anything, feel free. And I'm pretty sure they live in Florida somewhere. I can't remember exactly
Yeah.
right now. They do. And then another one was remember my accident. I got life flighted to UNC Hospital.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also a UNC fan.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty awesome that I got to go there. I didn't like the reason.
Yeah. You're like, this is not
I
what I
didn't
plan on
like the
doing.
reason, but if I had to be in the hospital, I would prefer to be there.
There you go.
And now I get free tickets from somebody that I made a contact.
Oh, that's amazing.
So I was at a football game one year, a couple of years ago. And as I'm getting ready to, leave. I think me and my friend were getting ready to leave. He's a diehard. Like, he's more UNC fan than I am, like a diehard. And so, as we were getting ready to leave, this man that was standing off to our left, there was two men, but one of them spoke. And he said, "Hey, young man." And we stopped. And I said, hey, sir, how you doing? He's like, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know, keep doing what you're doing, man. You give a lot of people hope out here." I said, "Okay, thank you. Who are you?" And he's like, "Don't worry about that. You, like I say, you just keep doing what you're doing, man." And I was like, "Yes, sir." Like, I didn't know what to say because I don't know who I'm talking to.
Yeah.
And I would love to know.
Sure.
And why you're saying that.
Yeah.
But I had to say, well, maybe he's seen me do something. Because I have been on, the news before.
Sure.
And I've been on ESPN. There's different things I've done.
Yeah.
And so I was wondering, maybe he caught one of those.
Yeah.
Because I have done, different adaptive sports competitions in the local area here in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And I've been on this segment for Spectrum News called Voices for Change.
Wonderful.
And that is basically based off the premises of racism.
Okay.
And I was on that segment for Voices for Change. I said, I've never experienced it. I had never experienced racism. Uh-huh. And we can do something about it if we want to.
Yes.
And that was my whole premise based off of it. And so it was a great segment. I love the way they did it, first and foremost. My right side looked very well.
Hey.
But yeah, no. So anywho, it was a great segment. I really did appreciate it. And them reaching out. Well, I found out about it from somebody. Can't remember, but anyway, that doesn't matter right now. But yeah, so it was just impressive that he noticed me and recognized me. And I didn't know him from, as we say over here in North Carolina, a hill of beans.
Yeah, from a hill of beans.
A hill of beans, okay? I didn't know him at all. So it was just interesting. And that's why I say it's okay to have a reminder every now and then.
Yes. And, it's the whole reason I started this podcast is just that I know that not everyone wants to share their story. And for some people, it's just like, you know what, it's just not something I want to talk about, or I'm not, but I know that there are people like you, like just anyone that comes on the podcast that are like, actually, I have a story to share. I've seen the really tough times, and I want to, by sharing, it's healing for you, I'm sure, as well as it's like that just feeling of when you read something or you hear something and you realize, okay, I'm not alone.
Right.
I'm not alone.
Yeah, just like writing my book was a method of therapy as well.
Yeah.
Finally getting it out. It was almost like another release mechanism.
Mm,
That's why people journal.
mm.
That it's a form of release, so that they can get those thoughts out of their head, and not be bottled up and still repeating itself. Because that's what it felt like for the longest time until I finally got those words on paper. It just felt like things just kept going over and over. And I felt like I was kept reliving the same old day over and over. I'm like, this
Yeah.
sucks. Like, when will I go forward? you know?
Yeah.
It was like I was waking up to the same tune every day.
Well, and I'm looking at something, a page 56, if you don't mind me reading a little excerpt.
Yeah, go
It
ahead.
says, this is on, let's see, this is in the chapter. It says, I still hold my value.
Oh, yeah.
In page 56, you say, if I may, let me touch on mental therapy for a second. Now, I will be the first to tell you that I wasn't someone who was gung ho about therapy because I have heard all of the rumors about how it makes you look weak. Then you hear people say, only go to church and get your fix there. Well, I'm here to tell you that those rumors are the worst things that could ever have been said because all it does is make those with the issues become even worse. I can't begin to tell you how much my mental health has improved due to one on one sessions I've been having with my therapist. So, first of all, love it. I love therapy. I go as well. I talk a lot about therapy on this podcast. I'm such a big fan, and I wish everybody could go. Tell me about that passage that I just read.
Yeah. People, and I hate to stigmatize this, but
Yeah, of course.
in the Black community,
Uh,
people use church as therapy.
uh,
Uh, It's not a good idea. Um, and the reason I say what I said in that passage about that could have been the worst thing anybody could have ever said is
yeah.
because now people hold on to that. Like I just heard something in my church the other day. Everybody was on the same page with it, and it was completely wrong. You couldn't be more wrong. And I was like, I'm the only one who knows the right answer to this. And that was where I was like, okay, yeah, we need to be destigmatized, and things that worse have been said need to be corrected.
Mm.
Because if we keep going in the same pattern that we're going in, you ever heard the definition of insanity? Keep
Yeah.
doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different outcome. That's insanity.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you keep doing the same thing, you'll keep getting the same result.
Yep.
So until you change it, like I did, and go to therapy, mental therapy to be exact, music therapy as well, because I'm a musician, so I love music therapy.
Yeah.
So until you change something, nothing will ever change. You have to take that first step.
Yes. Oh, it's the therapy, and it's interesting you bring this up because I feel like, there's so much you can get from like a spiritual connection, right? In whatever you believe.
Yeah.
But therapy, there's just with the research and the way that these therapists like dedicate their lives, they go to school to learn how like our minds work.
Right.
And, just being an everyday human and then having gone through what you went through with being a veteran, that alone, right? And then also your accident. I mean, you mentioned that some of the PTSD. I'm sure working through some of those exercises. I know there's mental and physical exercises that hopefully bring you some relief. You know, um, as just to kind of let you know, I again very different, but I go to a therapist. I have to keep kind of manage my OCD. I have a lot of like just r- there's my dog. A lot of thinking, just I can think myself into oblivion, you know and I really want to thank you for being so open about it as a man, as a veteran. It's so important for someone to say that, hey, I go to therapy and it's great.
Yeah. And I'll say this one for you, as a black man, because we're one of the main people that think we're not supposed to,
Yeah.
and we're the main ones that are suffering.
Mm.
And I'm like, guys, we need help too.
Mm.
We can't just keep carrying this mantle of, oh, it's okay to be tough. Oh, it's okay to be on edge, basically. Because that's really where all the violence comes from, is you're on edge. So you try to jump on somebody first before they could ever even say, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know, I don't
Totally.
get the chance to say I'm sorry because you already jumped on me.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so until we change, nothing will ever change.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem. So that's just my, as I say in one of my chapters. Thanks for coming to Dr. Kiwi's Corner.
Yes, I love how you're like. I love your tone and you're playful. And now I'm now meeting you. I'm like, oh yeah, that's because I was like reading this this week, and then we had just talked over email. But I can now when I'm gonna reread certain parts and be like, okay, now I'm gonna hear you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's like, and I know we could talk forever here, and I'm really enjoying speaking to you. Are there things that someone listening to this that right now, like they're just in a tough spot. We all have different forms of adversity. Are there things that you currently say to yourself, or things that you do when you're just to kind of make that switch from that victim mindset to the let's go get it mindset?
Yeah. I mean, well, there's my quote in the book
Yeah.
that I hold near and dear to my heart, and that's, I may have lost my sight, but I didn't lose my vision.
Yeah.
And my vision was always to help. Like that was the biggest thing about me. I was always wanting to help somebody some way, somehow.
Mm.
Um, whether that was playing sports, I had to help my team. Whether that was, uh, you know, being a part of the military. Not only was there a team and camaraderie in the military, but I'm helping my nation.
Yes.
There's the support there. And, there's just different things of that. I always wanted to help somebody. And now I'm helping in a different capacity with motivational speaking,
Mm.
with mentoring, with being an ambassador, just different things that come across me, my path, shall I say. Yeah. And then another quote that I hold personally true to me is that my situation does not define who I am.
Mm.
I define who I am.
Mm. Yes. Yeah, I love that. The first answer you gave about like helping, it's like giving of yourself when you are depleted. It's like taking the focus, sometimes taking the focus outside yourself.
Yeah.
Obviously like getting the therapy you need and like talking about it and having those outlets. But then I do feel like that giving back that you mentioned is so healing. It heals others, and it's like heals the parts of you that you just it's the connection with other human beings
Yeah.
that seems to help. And no, I again, like I'm just scrolling through your book here, and again, like I love how you have chapters on like the recovery, and you really go into that, and then getting home and hurt. I like this title of one of the chapters: hurt, heal, let it go. It's
Yeah.
not like you're saying that the hurt isn't there.
Oh no,
It was
look,
there.
it was and still is there.
It's still there.
Yeah, that chapter, as I think I spoke about it in the book, it
Yeah.
came from my pastor. It was a
Mm.
sermon he did. But the way it spoke to me is why I wrote about it.
Mm.
So that definitely credited to him, and of course, uh as I say, the Holy Spirit moving through it to me.
Mm.
And so it definitely taught me something.
Yes. It's your whole book, the Don't Focus on Why Me. It's telling your story of what happened, but you have already moved on from that day. That is long in the rearview mirror. I mean, you are your whole purpose in life through helping people. though it may look different and it may be in a different form than what you had imagined, right? I want to just let you know, like, how just what a fantastic gift I think your story is, and it's going to be to everybody who hears this episode, reads your book, follows you on Instagram, and all in these show notes. I'm going to put a link to your Instagram. I'm going to put a link to your website and to where they can buy your book. Is Amazon the best place?
Oh yeah, well it's on my website as well, but
On your website too.
Amazon, yeah, it's on Amazon if you want the paperback.
Yep.
It's got Kindle
Okay.
as well as audiobook. You can get it on Apple.
Fantastic. And as a writer, I have not published a book, and I just wanted to tell you the amount of dedication and work it takes. Just from what I've seen and like seeing other people in the process, like huge hats off to you for doing that.
Thank you. And I might add, there were no ghostwriters. Nobody assisted me with writing it.
This is all you.
I wrote that book. I sat down behind a computer and typed it all out by myself. The only help I had was an editor, a book formatter, and the cover design. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, nothing's stopping you, you know? It's
Nothing.
like it's that will.
What did I told you about the song that I put with my video? Nothing can stop me.
Nothing can stop you.
Yeah.
And seriously, thank you so much. I would love to continue like staying connected to you, and obviously I'm going to publish this and create different clips that we can share, because I just want to get the message out about the strength that you've shown through adversity, and like how that really has a ripple effect on the world, and like hopefully it's really speaking to somebody who's listening to this right now. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And we will talk soon, my friend.
All right.
All right. Take care and have a wonderful weekend. I appreciate
You
it.
do the same.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.